Hello everybody, we're in large plate throwing mode today, and I'm just going to do a big platter plate. Just going to centre this clay up a little bit. It's a little bit stiffer than normal because it's going to have a wideish rim if I can do it. Stiffer the clay is better for throwing big things, but it's more difficult for centering, so you have to put your body weight behind it, which at the moment I've got a considerable amount of, so it shouldn't be that difficult. Okay, that should do. This is a big disc, but as you can hear it's had a lot of use and it's not that perfectly flat, so I think it's important to, when you're centering, to not have your hand on this board. For me, not to have my hand on this board because it gives that effect slightly and it pushes it off centre, so my hand isn't actually touching the wheel head at the moment. But that's got it. A little bit of an indentation there, and then put some water in, because with a bigger piece of clay your hand can get halfway, then it dries out and starts to snag, so I'll put a little indentation in, a little bit of water in there as a well, and that gives me something to stop it from snagging and catching. You can hear that a slight raise in the wheel head. Just touching my fingers there, but too bad. What I'm doing is I'm using this part of my hand here, and we're just pressing down to roughly where I want the centre of the clay to be, the depth to be. We'll just test it. That's quite deep still yet, so we're okay for a bit further, a bit deeper. It's just a question of pulling the heel of your hand towards you, well, not towards me, I should. That's the way I do it. And that's the first part done. Just recentering it a little bit here on the rim. As you push out, sometimes it's not that easy to keep an even movement, so as it goes out, sometimes you get more or less pressure going if your feet move or your body moves, and it goes out of centre a little bit. So I just re-centre it a bit there. Not too bad. And now just pull it wider. Just giving this a bit of extra compression there. So I've had a couple of splits on me, some radio cracks recently, so I'm just giving it a little bit more compression, and I'm also compressing this rim a little bit more. I'm not sure whether or not, I mean, I'll be completely wrong because I'm not that knowledgeable about these sort of things, but it could be that the pressure here and then not so much pressure there is causing me to get cracks and whatever, so do what you can to keep the pressure of the clay and the particles pressed together evenly right the way through to the rim, and then that eliminates that possibility of it happening. But out of 5 large plates I put in the kiln the other week before Christmas, I only got 2 out, so at a bisque. So my first reaction is it's my throwing, and how can we address it? And all I can think of is just, you know, the compression side of it, just do everything better and longer. I do tend to rush things. So I broke my favourite rib of the day, snapped, unfortunately, so I'm having to use bits of it, but it's still useful. Bit more compression. Throw it into a large dish shape first and then compress the rim quite heavily. Again, that idea of stopping it from cracking. Let me thin it out. I try not to go too flat. I'm just going to go flat to this, but I'm trying not to go too flat too soon because they can go and you can never get them back. Plus, when you cut them off, when you put the rib, when I cut the wire through them before I take the wheel head off, I found that they drop again somehow. But so I'll leave a little bit of curl in it. These are going to have a glaze with a chemical glaze with a nuka swirl on them, so I need them to be fairly smooth. It's always a good idea to have what decoration you're going to put on these pots before you make them. Sometimes I tend to make pots and then think, oh God, how can I decorate these now? But these have a preordained finish. That's as low as I want to go with that. And that's it, it's not too difficult. Bits of elbow grease at the beginning. Press the rim, make it strong. There we have it. Need to undercut this if I can find the right tool. I'm just undercutting this at the bottom here to give the wire somewhere to purchase, so when I cut it, do it through, it keeps it nice and flat, because if you leave a bevel on the inside, the wire can ride up and you get an uneven base when you cut it off. So I'm just going to cut it now. I like to have the wheel moving while I'm cutting these off. It tends to keep the wire a little flatter across the middle, because the wire tends to bow in the middle. If you cut it straight through, it will raise up, so I keep it as tight as possible. Try not to let it catch on the wheel head, and slowly, oops, losing all of it, there we go, slowly run it through. Done. Profile, plate.